Welcome to another episode, everyone. Compton Ricc Roc hit me up and said the following. Well, he didn't actually hit me up, personally or what have you, but I did a video earlier covering the interview that Compton Ricc Roc had on No Jumper yesterday. Compton Ricc Roc has also did his own video covering that. Go check him out, Compton Ricc Roc TV. Check out the entire interview there on No Jumper. It's nearly 4 hours long. I brought you a couple of clips, of course, bringing you some of the most explosive parts of what had transpired there. I don't know, perhaps my video, I don't want to say rub Compton Ricc Roc wrong, because all I was doing was covering it. I didn't take any sides or any of that. I didn't think that I did. I was certainly trying not to. Trying to be as neutral as possible, but nevertheless, and I put in the title, as you all can see, the things that went left, and that Compton Ricc Roc crashed out on No Jumper. I said Compton Ricc Roc crashed out, which is an indication that he was the aggressor. I didn't put in the title, Adam 22 calls out Compton Ricc Roc, Adam 22, attack Compton Ricc Roc, Adam 22. Went ballistic on Compton Ricc Roc. I said Compton Ricc Roc crashes No Jumper, because he was in there going back and forth with Adam, and he did have some things to say. And I did feel like he was standing up for himself for the most part. Now, Compton Ricc Roc left a comment on the video that I did earlier. It says here, Compton Ricc Roc TV, talk about me checking him on how he do blacks. That's what Compton Ricc Roc says. Talk about me checking him on how he does blacks. Saying that, I covered the video earlier and I covered whatever part I covered. We'll cover that part where I checked Adam about how he does blacks. I did cover that part. I went through it again, and the only thing that I can see are two situations where Ricc Roc does bring that up, where he's saying, man, you talking down to us and you talking like, you're acting like Gucci or what have you, who's saying that we are devaluing the product by wearing their product. And this is how you're acting, by saying that, blacks reacting to your videos is essentially devaluing your podcast, your business. So he said something in, and Adam went back, and then later on he said that you didn't stop J Hood and Spody Face from fighting, to paraphrase, because you make money off of it, and that I don't want to see these two ninjas fighting. He said, indicating that he was saying that, I guess as he said, talk about how I talked about how he does blacks. So he did not specifically say, unless I missed it. Again, it was 4 hours long. I didn't watch the entire thing, but he did not specifically say, Compton Ricc Roc, that I can recall, you do blacks like this on this channel. You set blacks up. You manipulate black people. You manipulate the culture. You're complaining about individuals doing reaction videos. More likely it's black people that are doing the reaction videos, but there are black people that make the show, that make No Jumper. It's black people that you're talking about on No Jumper. It's black people that you have on No Jumper. So you would think that, yeah, black people are going to react to some of the content, since it's us and our culture that's making this channel and making you money. You would think you would not have a problem with black people reacting to your content, since it's black people that has you living in your mansion based on our culture and our content that they bring to your channel. But he still sets everything up and hooks everything up, of course, does Adam. He works hard, obviously. He pushes out a lot of content every day, and I understand what he was saying earlier, as I said, that he has a lot of overhead and he works hard for his content. His reaction videos are coming, just doing content on them, and etc. So at any rate, so I just saw Captain Ricc Roc sort of insinuating that Adam does black people a certain way on the channel. You know, when he said that he did not stop the fight with J Hood and Spody Face because you didn't cut the cameras because you're going to profit off of it. You're going to make money off of it. But still, again, right then would have been an opportunity to say, and this is how you do black men all of the time, and this is what I mean. And then present your facts of it. Because my thing is, if Captain Ricc Roc, you're saying that Adam does black men a certain way on his podcast, sets plays up and all of this, and has blacks manipulated and fighting one another, etc., then were you going on the podcast to confront him about that? Or were you going on the podcast to just podcast? Because if you were going on a podcast to just podcast and never bring any of that up, then it doesn't matter. If it only came up because you guys ended up getting into an argument and you got upset about something, and then you confronted him about some of the, you sort of insinuated this, still indirectly, then so what? Because if you were going on there to confront him about this, then it makes sense what you're saying. But if not, it's not necessarily a strong gripe, because however he does black men, you were still willing to go on there and sit down with him, knowing all of this, and just have a regular podcast, talk about women and this, that, and everything except how he does black men and the culture and manipulates the culture or whatever it is. Nevertheless, I'm certainly not looking for any problems with Captain Ricc Roc whatsoever. A lot of these dudes, they're not out here playing fair. I'm scared to death. For one, I'm just keeping it real. And for two, I don't have a problem with him. I mean, he says that he wore the police outfit he wore during one of his skits. He explained that on his channel. Go check it out. As I said, he reacted to this video as well, this interview that he did on No Jumper. And so in the interest of fairness, I want to make sure that I cover everything. As I said, I had already played this earlier. My bad, Adam. I'm not trying to rerun your content or nothing, but I want to clear this up with Captain Ricc Roc, or make sure that I'm being fair, or that I didn't cover it a certain way earlier in my earlier video that he may take umbrage to, where the coverage seems slanted, where it looks like he was looking a certain way or something. That certainly was not my intention. Again, I was trying to be careful when I covered it to make sure it did not come off that way. I didn't even necessarily insert my personal opinion about the whole fiasco. I just let it play out and let everyone else decide for themselves what they are looking at. Nevertheless, I certainly wouldn't want him thinking again that I didn't play all of it or play the parts that were pertinent, where it showed him standing up to Adam. So let me play it again. You all give your opinion on that. I believe these are the two parts that he's talking about when he mentioned to Adam about black people and how he's doing black people, etc. So again, let's clear that up.
But like, if you want to get advice on like making a movie, you should probably call somebody who's actually made a movie, right? He probably knows tons of people who've made movies.
We just made a movie.
He's been in all these big movies.
Yeah, I do. I'm doing the same shit. You just see me on the movie.
I seen you playing a role in
it doesn't matter. You don't know what part
knows Antoine Fuqua. He was in Training Day.
Had wrote in the motherfucker. You don't know what I did in it.
Well, we assume you probably would have told us if you had a deeper involvement.
Man, I got most stuff on there I did.
Okay.
Just next time, just be like, man, check my IMDb. I ain't got time for this bullshit.
I need to get me. Yeah. This nigga just want to argue. You want to go back and forth.
No, but it's not that I want to go back and forth. It's like, if you're going to be a podcaster, you need to.
I'm a hustler, man.
You need to be willing to be checked on your bullshit.
Man, I'm not no podcaster. I just told you that an hour ago.
Well, you're on a podcast right now.
I'm a hustler. You got a hustler on here.
But see, okay, that is another default that you keep saying is like, I'm a hustler.
I'm a hustler.
We're trying to have like real conversations about real shit. So when you default to like, I'm a hustler,
you a
everybody
podcaster
out there in the audience
you
is
a
thinking,
podcaster.
oh, that's some bullshit.
I'm not a podcaster. You called me up
but
here.
You're on a podcast right now.
Yeah, I'm on a podcast, but I'm a hustler.
But when you're on a podcast, like people expect you to make sense.
Killing it.
Man, listen, man. These people want to be entertained. They don't give a fuck about this shit, really.
Right, but they're not going to be entertained for long by somebody who circumvents the conversation by saying, I'm a hustler.
Guess what they going to say? Man, we don't want that nigga back on here. And that's cool with me because I'm not a podcaster.
He was saying he wears the bitches with ass.
Yeah, I'm a hustler, nigga. I'm not on here trying to fake like I'm no podcast and all that old shit.
I was like, where Cassidy at?
We're Cassidy.
I'm a hustler. I'm going to start saying that whenever anybody tells me I'm wrong. I'm a hustler.
I can sell. I'm trying to get money.
I can sell water to a well.
Man, I've been doing this since I was 14 years old. Mama seeing me at the liquor store. Hey, mama, put this money up. Boy, what are you doing?
But doing what?
Man, I can't tell you what I was doing, but I was doing what I was doing. I've been
for murder. I'm pretty sure you can tell us about stealing from a liquor store.
No, I can't. No, I don't steal from liquor stores. I'm telling you about that, nigga. I'm a hustler.
Not no more, huh?
I never stole from liquor stores.
Okay, I believe you.
I'm a hustler. I never robbed a liquor store. I never stole. That's broke nigga shit. We don't do that.
No, for sure. And you already know fools get packed for stealing from the store.
I just never been something I was into, man. Yeah. Like stealing. What for we stealing out the store for? We can make money to buy the whole store.
You got to start somewhere.
I watched my father and my uncle.
How are you going to make money to buy the whole store? Like comparing that to stealing.
So you talking to me like, so you know how you talking to me right now?
He's a dream crusher.
Like I'm trying to get
No. You getting at me like I'm just some old nigga. That's what you getting at me like.
No, I'm trying to get you to make sense in the conversation we're having.
That's how you getting at me though. You getting at like, nigga, y'all can't do better than me. That's how
you are from the store when you can buy the store.
But you getting at nigga.
It's an insane thing to say, and everybody.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate that. If I did not say that earlier, I was certainly thinking it. I appreciate that he's at least saying that much to Adam, to his face, that you're getting at me like I'm some ninja that can't do this. They can't come up with $100,000 or whatever to buy a store. What makes you think that I would be in there stealing? And that's more than a lot of people would do or say to Adam's face.
At home watching this hears that and they're like, oh, that doesn't make any sense.
You can't get no money to buy the store. That's how you getting at a nigga.
Obviously, if you're stealing from the store, then you can't buy the store.
Who said we were stealing?
It costs like $100,000 plus to buy a store.
I don't steal, nigga. I just said we don't steal.
You're talking about like where
he said he don't.
I don't steal, nigga.
Considering stealing from the store, obviously doesn't have the option of buying. But we're not talking about you.
But that's what you said. You said
having an intelligent conversation is being able to think outside of yourself.
But you talk to them like they dumb though, man.
But if you say something dumb, then I'm going to have to talk to you like you're dumb to try to get
earlier. What do y'all views do for my channel? He said, what do y'all views do for my channel? Nigga, if niggas is supporting in any type of way, that's working on for your favor.
Okay, but you would think that somebody telling you from experience what a reactor does for a channel?
Yeah. So, I'm sure that, again, this is the part that Captain Rick is referring to in the comment that he left on the video that I just read to you all. Where, he is going at Adam 22 here and saying, yeah, and I do appreciate that. I do at least appreciate that. I really do. I would have said some other stuff on top of that. Like I would have brought a whole list of facts just in my brain and had my whole layout for him of how he's hindering the culture or hurting the culture or benefiting from the culture and how he can do better on his channel, how he can do better on No Jumper and still No Jumper will be profitable. Do better by the culture, by himself, by the people there, and No Jumper will still be booming. No problem. Or what have you. But whatever, that's me. But Captain Ricc Roc is indeed at least going at Adam, looking him in the face, and telling him, you know what, you talking to us like we dumb. You think ninjas are dumb. I don't use the N-word. I certainly don't call other people from another race the N-word. So I'm going to say ninja here just to repeat what he keeps saying. He's saying, because it is true. I mean, who said anything about stealing, first of all? And why wouldn't you think that we can, now unless Adam is saying, well, because you said when you were 14, you were in the store. How you going to buy the store at 14, come up with $100,000 to buy the store at 14? But if you saying that Captain Ricc Roc can't buy a store now, then that wouldn't be good. That'd be stereotyping or profiling or something. That'd be a fallacy. So I do appreciate the fact that Captain Ricc Roc is saying and telling him to his face, and you know what? I don't like the way you're talking to us, or talking to me. You're talking like we're dumb, talking like we're stupid, like we can't do something. You're talking down to us. He is at least saying that.
Talking to niggas like
it doesn't do anything. But you're refusing to accept that somebody who has
making it seem like you better than everybody on this motherfucker though.
No, I just haven't.
No, that's how you get in.
Now you're going into the victim role, which is crazy.
Victim. I'm saying some real shit.
No, you're not, because you're not willing to listen to me when I have infinitely more expertise on this topic.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Of course, that's almost the same as saying chimping out, like Adam has said before. Let me be careful here. I'm not trying to come for Adam. I got to speak my mind at the same time. And, this is what individuals often do whenever you speak up for yourself in any sort of way. They accuse you of playing some victim role. Black people go for this sort of rhetoric all of the time, but it's really designed to just shut you up. I'm not talking about Adam in particular in this situation. Generally speaking, this is a play from an old playbook. Whenever you speak up, speak out, call out any sort of racism, they accuse you of playing the victim. Because what grown man wants to be referred to as a victim? Wants someone to look at them and say you're playing the victim. And so they feel like this will shut you up, because it's almost like saying you're feminine. You're acting like a girl. You're playing a victim. You're not being a man. And we talk about people taking our lives. We talk about us building this country and never receiving a dime. We talk about every unfair advantage that everyone else has over us. And these are all facts. Redlining. Won't give us loans, but give everyone else loans. Housing discrimination. Employer discrimination. You can't walk down the street. You can't drive down the street. These are all facts without being harassed, possibly killed in this country. These are facts. This is not crying. This is not playing a victim. This is speaking facts. When you bring this up and speak these facts, you have data to back it up. You have proof. You have video footage of people saying that black people deserve slavery. You got footage of it. Multiple races. Ashley Gonzalez making a video saying that blacks deserve slavery. The other the Asian woman just came out, got caught on the video. She's deleted all of her content, all of her profiles and all of this, all of her social medias, saying this N-erism, ninja-ism, teacher of black kids not to steal. He was in there stealing water. Black fatigue is freaking real. Yeah, we hate you. It's a reason that everyone freaking hates you. You're dumb, you're lazy, you're an Asian woman who come to find out she had a criminal background herself. She's the thief and all that. But this is what she goes viral for saying. These individuals who get caught unaliving black kids and wearing blackface, this, that, and the other, and losing their job or whatever, make a GoFundMe and get millions of dollars in the GoFundMe. The hatred is real. These are all facts, data to back it up. But when you bring it up to any one of them, because they refuse to take accountability for being barbaric, for being sick in the freaking head. We're talking about individuals who unalived black people, took their skinned them, and made hats, boots, belts. They put it on their couches. Black people's skin, they made coffee cups. We're talking about individuals who would take a baby from a black woman's stomach and stomp the baby out in front of everyone to send a message. Stomp the baby out fresh out of the woman's womb. We're talking about people who cannot be redeemed. They're just sick. There's nothing that you can do about it. Or there's something that you can do about it. But talking about it ain't going to get it done. And trying to change them and understand them and all that. No, you're wasting your time. I'm convinced. I don't give a damn what nobody says. But when you bring this stuff up, they say that you're playing a victim, that you're being a victim, even though it's true. You can prove all of this stuff, of how you are hated, despised, how you have a disadvantage in this country, and everyone else has a leg up on you or 50 legs up on you. How you had to start from nothing. It's a wonder that we're still here, that we're able to create and thrive and flourish in spite of all of the hatred and the systematic polarization of our culture and our people. It's just a testament to our will and our spirit. It has nothing to do with anyone else. If they had it their way, we'd have been gone a long time ago. And then when you bring this up and say, these are the facts, and to shut you up, they say you're playing a victim. Or when they lose an argument, they say you're playing a victim. When they're hit with facts because they refuse to take accountability for their actions, they say you're playing a victim. Never fall for that, black man. You have been a victim. As hard as that is to say, and as hard as that is to swallow and to digest, you have been a victim in this country. For generations, you have been victimized in the worst way. For generations upon generations upon generations, you have been a victim of murder, deceit, mayhem, assault, every discrimination in the world. Did you know that it's been about 2 months now that the United Nations got together and essentially voted on the worst human atrocity in human history? And they, of course, considered all of the facts. Think tanks, study groups, brilliant minds looked at all of the evidence of all past human atrocities, the Holocaust, you name it, dropping bombs on Hiroshima, you name it. Every human atrocity in the history of the world, in the history of humanity, every war, everything was looked at. Every race that's been enslaved before, because people like to bring that up. We were slaves too. All of this stuff, 10,000 years ago. They've looked at every situation in human history, in the world's history, and determined. Do you know that every nation except 3 voted that the transatlantic slave trade, that American slavery against African people, you, me, was the worst atrocity, the worst crime against humanity in the history of the world. And this is not surprising when you understand what really happened during slavery. People like to romanticize it and sanitize it as if, black people just got whipped now and then and had to pick a little cotton. No, you need to understand, you need to do your homework. and understand how sick these atrocities were. Understand what your people, what your people have been through. And this stuff is passed down. It's hereditary. There's data to back that up. We have some of the same trauma that our ancestors had, that they suffered. Just like they have the same genes of their ancestors and act in the same way that their ancestors act. It's passed down. It's hereditary. And everyone in the United Nations except for 3 countries who voted against that, who didn't want to come to terms with that, who doesn't want to believe, but they know the truth as well. Everyone else does. Every other nation in the United Nations, just 2 months or so ago, voted that slavery was the worst crime against humanity in the history of humanity, in the history of the world. Not in the history of America, not in Americans' history, the world. No crime in anywhere on earth has been worse before or since slavery than the American slave trade. No crime, no criminal crime as barbaric as the Holocaust was pales in comparison. Yeah, I said that. They teach you about the Holocaust in school. They won't teach you about slavery. That's all I learned about was the Holocaust. White on white crime is what it was. That's all it was. White on white crime. I know all about it. I know exactly what happened. They loved that dude, Adolf. They still love him. And America didn't stop anything. They didn't stop the war. They came in after the fact. They didn't invade Germany. They came in after the fact and just took the credit. Who are the 3 nations that said that slavery was not the worst crime in history? They took everything into account. How many people died, the brutality of it all, the length of time, everything into account with every atrocity. And by far, everyone, every nation. So it's not even close. It's a landslide. Everyone said that by far. We talking about people who looked at the facts. This is not emotion. This is data. They looked at the facts of every atrocity and said, this is by far the worst in human history. 3 nations said no. Israel? Raise your hand if you're surprised. America? The United States of America. The individuals that enslaved, the individuals who the world says is responsible for the worst crime in human history. That would be the American people. Europeans. Right here in this country. They're not talking about something that happened in some other world. They said the worst crime in human history happened right here in this country. Not that long ago, by the way. And who are the people that denied this? That denied that this took place? That denied that this was the worst crime against humanity in human history? The people who perpetrated the crime, America. Everyone else said it was. Except Israel, America, and I forget the other one. I had to get back to you on that. one other country, some offshoot kiss asses, some racist bastards are also denying it. Israel and America, though, the crime where the crime happened at. But when you bring this up, they're going to say you're being a victim. You're playing a victim. When you bring up the fact that they had a head start out of this world, that we never got our 40 acres and a mule, that you tell us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps after you take our boots. We don't have any bootstraps to pull ourselves up with. We don't even have any boots. You divested us of this yourself. You did this. You took it from us. It didn't fall out of the sky. You took it. Made us work for free. Built this into a world empire. Built this economy until it was the biggest in the world. You're all filthy rich because of this. We left slavery with nothing. Somehow still built Black Wall Street, still built our own town with our own businesses and hospitals, started literally without a dime, with nothing. Meanwhile, y'all started with trillions. And then you look at us today and want to compare and say, y'all are in this position because you want to be. Never admitting the fact that you had $1 trillion head start on us. And we're still closing the gap somehow, and we started with nothing. You still will look at us and tell us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, knowing the whole time that you took our boots. And when we bring this up, you say that we're playing the victim. You know we're not playing the victim. You know we have been the victim. You have victimized us from day one. Let me stop, because I'm going to be going for a minute. I'm going to go for a few hours, I promise you. There's so much more I want to say right now. But let me stop right now. Let me just stop. But I want to say so much more, I promise you. I need to break this down. I need to break this down for my people. They need to understand what's going on here. I need to break this down.
Topic than you.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so like if you really want to go back to the concept of like, does a reactor help no jumper? It's like, I'm telling you, as somebody who's been doing this for a long time, 10 years, this is my main thing. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter at all. And you don't seem willing to accept that I, as an expert in that exact topic, you're trying to tell me that I'm wrong.
So if a person,
but then you're not putting forth any kind of actual argument to explain it.
If a person go in the store and spend $100, and a motherfucker come right behind him and spend $1, at the end of the month, nigga, that shit add up.
$101.
It don't matter who came in. You think the liquor store care about a nigga coming in there spending 10 cents, a nigga spending 1,000? Because when they get to counting all that stuff up, it make money. That's what I'm trying to explain. You basically saying, nigga, F y'all. Nigga, I'm bigger than all of y'all. Nigga, I don't care what you niggas do.
No, but I'm not actually saying F y'all, because I actually don't care at all if people react to our content.
You might have reactions that love your channel.
But all I'm saying, and I don't give a fuck if they love it or hate it, all I'm saying is it doesn't matter for us.
No, it doesn't matter.
And if anything, it hurts. Because obviously, like,
so now you sound like Gucci, who don't want niggas to wear their clothes because it devalues they value. That's what you're saying. You say
anyone in charge of Gucci has ever said that.
No, hold up, homie.
No,
so hold up, cuz, hold up. Because what you saying, if a nigga do a reaction to your shit, it's hurting your channel. That's like Gucci saying, I don't want you niggas wearing our clothes because it's making our shit look cheap.
Do you think that's
man? Come on, cuz, you know what you're doing, homie.
You want to fact check those?
Louis Vuitton for sure.
Okay, but I'll give you the example that is going to prove my point. Is that
so again, this is clearly, or I won't say clearly, because again, I have not watched this whole 4-hour episode, essentially 4 hours, but I'm assuming this is the part that Compton Ricc Roc was referring to, and when he left a comment, when he said, talk about how I got on Adam about how he does blacks. And he's not getting on him right here about how he does blacks, but he's getting on him about how he devalues black people as far as Compton Ricc Roc is concerned, or does not value the fact that people are tuned into his channel and doing reactions to his channel, even though his channel is focused on the culture and he's profiting from the culture, etc. And people from the culture are doing reactions to this. But nevertheless, he is on his head about him saying that he could not care less, because he's saying, as Compton Ricc Roc said, that that's the same thing Gucci did or whatever. Louis Vuitton, all of them places are racist anyway, by the way. You shouldn't wear it. If you're black, get yourself a black designer and get their stuff. Wear their stuff. It's better material. It's going to be cheaper financially, but not cheaper in material. And circulate the black dollar and support your own people. It's what you all need to start doing. Gucci doesn't care about you, and neither does Louis Vuitton. None of them do. Target, none of them. Stay out of all of that stuff. Respect yourself first. If we expect to get our respect from these individuals around the world, and it's the whole world that disrespects us, make no mistake about it, then respect yourself first. And going places where you are disrespected is not self-respect. That's low self-esteem. So this is what Compton Ricc Roc is referring to, I believe. As I said, this is part of it. I'm going to play the other part right now, where he is on Adam saying, I don't like the way you're talking to us. I don't like the way you're talking down to me, talking down to us, like we're dumb or something, and like you don't want us, the culture, or black people, black men, to be bothered with you and your content. And I don't appreciate that. So he is saying that, and he is saying that to his face. And I did recognize that earlier, bro, Compton Ricc Roc. I did recognize that earlier. I did. And I can appreciate that. Someone needs to stand up. And again, if this is the way you feel and anyone feels, then Adam should be confronted with this and with the facts, though, and sit down and have an adult conversation about it nonetheless, and perhaps give him some ideas of how he can move no jumper further without damaging the culture. That is, not that he has to take advice from anyone else. Clearly, he believes that he's a better podcaster than everyone in the world. Nevertheless, he's not going to want to take advice from someone with 50,000 subscribers when he has 5 million. So, but Compton Ricc Roc is saying what he's saying here.
The other day, I'm sitting on the podcast with Crip Mac and one mic, motherfucker. I'm sitting on the podcast with Crip Mac and ODM.
Okay, now, so I'm gonna go to the next part where I believe Compton Ricc Roc is talking about where he got on Adam about him profiting off of blacks.
Two grown men / gangsters want to go have a conversation off the podcast. Who the fuck
when I worked at the oil refinery and I was about to lose that $3,000 a week, and my supervisor told me, "Hey, quit it out." I quit.
Not an oil refinery.
So is there a frame of reference in between black people and gang members?
And again,
big difference.
Your job was to prove that I was the reason why those people left. No, you didn't.
Adam,
no. I don't know why they left.
You just like
I tried to challenge.
One mic.
You could have prevented that. Why they left is their own reason. I don't know why they left.
But so how could I have prevented it?
I just told you.
I think you're believing him.
Cut the cameras off, because as long as they being recorded, it's going to. And nobody.
They weren't being recorded. That's why they went outside.
What are you talking about?
So if two grown men, let's say you guys get into an argument right now and you want to go have an argument outside. I'm at fault for that.
Look, if we on live right now and we going at each other, we know it's thousands of people watching us. Ain't none else finna do no bitch shit, right? Exactly. So you would have said, "Hey, cut the cameras, cut all this shit off. This shit is done for the day."
No, we would never end the Tuesday show.
Yeah. See, you not gonna do it because you make money off niggas.
No, because we do the podcast.
No, because you making money off of
it.
No,
because we do the podcast every Tuesday.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I ain't finna sit here and fake for your ass.
No, but we do the podcast every Tuesday, and we're not turning it off for anybody.
Ricc Roc. I know you're not. You're not gonna cut.
Okay. I actually did miss that part earlier. I heard him when he said that you make money. You're not gonna cut the cameras off because you make money. I didn't hear him say you make money off of ninjas. He just said that though. So that's what he's talking about, I'm sure. Again, that part there where he did say that to Adam 22, as we just heard. He confronted him and said, he's telling Adam 22, you could have cut the cameras off. With the J Hood Spody Face situation, that Spody Face, he's saying that Adam, is your fault. That Spody Face and Munchie B left. Adam saying, how is it my fault? I didn't tell them what to do. I didn't start the fight. How is it my fault? And Ricc Roc said, well, because you're the boss here, and the boss has them in situations, or he didn't stop the situation. You could have stopped it right there. You could have turned the camera off. And Adam said, well, we wasn't recording. And Ricc Roc corrected him on that. So, well, no, you were live. Obviously, it's recorded. We all played it. We all covered it, right? All of these reaction channels and all this. So, and then Captain Ricc Roc did just say, well, you could have cut the camera off, but you're not going to do that because you make money off of black men. You're not going to do that because you make money off of black men.
Cut it off.
Right. Because we do a podcast every Tuesday.
No, you're not going to cut it off.
No, we do. We do a podcast every Tuesday.
So you
have yet to make any kind of case for why I should have turned it off.
I just did it.
You lost. That sucked.
This
Terrible.
is your job. It's your business.
It's not my job. It's my business.
And then you know some shit I know.
What?
She could have went, I ain't got to do all that, And
he knows about the blick too. Look at
I don't know about shit. I don't know about shit.
Man, he knows about the blick.
I don't know about a motherfucking thing. But let me tell you something. You keep on playing, something bad gonna happen at this motherfucker, and you're gonna lose everything you work hard for. I'm telling you.
So that's your contribution to the podcast today? Just say some spooky shit. If you keep doing this, something bad's gonna happen in the future.
Okay, so they're about to go back and forth about that again. I played that again. I played that earlier. Check out the video from earlier, if you will, if you want, where they went back and forth there. Adam saying that, you're not bringing anything to the podcast, saying that something's going to happen. So we got what led up to that conversation, to this last part right here, which was Ricc Roc saying you could have turned the cameras off and basically, implying, I guess, that Spody might have had a blicky and that things could have went bad up there. That someone's going to end up losing their life up there, no jumper, and things are going to go bad. And obviously, it's a black man, as I said, that's going to end up losing his life if it were to happen up there. We don't want this to happen, and it shouldn't happen, and I don't believe that it will. I believe people are waking up, and just we all need to do better with some of our rhetoric and some of our content, myself included. And I really wanted to get into this Carmelo Anthony thing and this Asian boycott. I want to get into it so bad and speak for hours on it, really. I just know it's not going to get any views. I'm about to start another channel so I can have these conversations, for real. I don't want to be doing all this stupid ass stuff anyway. I'm a content creator, not a killer. I'm a content creator, so I cover this stuff. I covered it, just bringing you all the information of what went on. Maybe you already know about it. Maybe you don't. If you did, maybe you still check it out over here. If not, whatever. That's all I was doing. Covering it as a content creator. Not taking any sides, not doing any of that. Like neutral, down the middle, like everyone else say that they are, and how they do their content. Nevertheless, as I said, as we just seen, Captain Ricc Roc, he did scream at Adam about those things. Did just tell Adam that you profit from black men. Again, my thing would be, well, if you know this and you really believe this, then why even go on there and have a conversation with him unless you're going on there to say this, unless you're going on there to straighten this out, which he may have been, bro. I don't know. He may have been. I don't know. I don't think so, or I shouldn't say I don't think so. I'm going to say I don't know, because I would think if so, then you sort of broach this subject immediately. As soon as you sit down almost, you say, okay, Adam, I want to holler at you about a few things. Let's get into this. Let me give you the topics for the day. This will carry us the whole 4 hours. Let's speak about this right here. Let's speak about these topics right here. Let me kick it off. How come you, and then go from there. If you're on there to get to the bottom line or get some clarification on something, or chastise him about what you believe he's doing wrong as it relates to black men or relates to the culture, and how he's benefiting and profiting from the culture. Individuals believe this, and then he needs to be confronted with it so that it can stop. And if you believe this and you're not confronting him with it, and instead you're right there laughing and chilling and just podcasting with him the whole time, knowing this and believing this about him, that he doesn't care about your people and your culture, and you're not there to check him on it, but you're there instead to podcast with him about everything except that, and it only comes up because it comes up, because it's a 4-hour podcast and y'all start talking about everything else, and then it sort of leans into that, but that wasn't the goal from the beginning or at any point to broach this subject. Then what's the point? But again, I don't know that that's what happened here. I don't know why Compton Ricc Roc went on there. I don't know. Again, he did a reaction to it. I haven't watched it. I just saw the title. It popped up. I'm subscribed to his channel. It popped up on my timeline. And I saw the title. Said Adam 22 and Compton Ricc Roc almost have a fight or something like that. So I know he's speaking on that issue. Speaking on this interview right here last night. He may say on there why he went on there. He may say on his own video why he went on to No Jumper. I don't know. Maybe I'll go look at it myself and see why he went on there. I know he said that, I saw him right here, I think, saying that he wore the uniform for a skit or something, or just to have fun, or is his uniform for a video he did or something like that. But he said he was wearing that, basically just trolling the sheriff outfit, that he was wearing it just for a skit, as I said, or he said, something like that. So, he's speaking on the issue, and so go check out his video and see what he has to say about everything, man. As I say, hey, I don't have anything against Compton Ricc Roc. I don't have anything against anyone here on the internet. We all just doing our content. I'm just like you, bro. I'm just trying to get involved and drop my content like everyone else say that they're doing. That it's just content. I'm just covering this situation. It was a big story, of course. You went on No Jumper. And it was pretty explosive on there. Yeah. I haven't even covered No Jumper content in weeks. I said I'm going to have to cover this one because it was a bit explosive. But there it is. Hopefully I covered what Compton Ricc Roc was asking. You all let me know in the comments what you feel about it, what you feel about his exchange with Adam 22. They did go back and forth. He did stand up. He did tell Adam, I don't like the way you're talking to me. I don't like the way you're talking to blacks or talking about blacks. I think you're talking down to us, talking to us like we dumb. What makes you think I'm in there stealing? What makes you think any of us are in the liquor store stealing? What makes you think we can't come together and get $100,000 and buy a store or whatever? I mean, this is a rhetorical question. Of course, we all know the answer. But what would make you think this? Was Compton Ricc Roc's point? Would have been my point as well, of course. And, and so he did let Adam know that he didn't like the way he felt like he was denigrating or disparaging black men or looking down or talking about black men, at least in that situation, in that moment. And then he did go on to say, as we just seen, that you didn't cut the camera on a J Hood and Spody Face phantom fight because you profit from ninjas. You profit from black men. That's why you didn't cut the camera. He didn't elaborate on that, then go deeper into that, but he did say that. That's more than some people have said, and more than some people have done when they go on there. So he at least did bring that up. He at least did let Adam know where he stood on that, and he was pretty stern in that, pretty strong on that. I've never said anything different. I didn't think anything different when I seen it. I did appreciate that from the beginning, and I still do. So there you go, man. There you have it. Hopefully I played it right and did cover the part that he wanted me to cover. Maybe something else. If so, let me know. If something else was said here, exchange you want me to cover, Compton Ricc Roc that you feel like the people need to know about, let me know. I'll play another piece of it then. I didn't watch the whole thing. As I said, it's 4 hours long. Just now I was about to get into some other content. Before I got the comment, I said, well, Let me play that then real quick. I don't want no problem. Stay safe and stay free, people.